Can you see my screen now?
Yes, I've seen some discipline supporting evidence processing.
Yes. So we have some disciplines supporting evidence.
No, but you said today's topic is what? Today's topic is what?
Today's topic is going to be question document examination.
Okay. Question document examination.
Yes, question document examination. So we have some disciplines supporting evidence processing. And I'll just mention some of them, then we go into today's topic, which is a question document examination.
Okay.
Some of these disciplines are question document examination, fingerprint examination, footwear and tire evidence examination, footprint examination, firearms, ammunition and tool mark impression examination, and DNA fingerprinting. So today we'll be discussing question document examination. Question document examination. Okay. Question document examination, otherwise known as forensic document examination, is a forensic science discipline.
Hello? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Please repeat again, please.
Okay. Question document examination, otherwise known as forensic document examination. Question document examination, otherwise known as forensic document examination, is a forensic science discipline that involves the examination of documents that have issues of authenticity. Let me repeat myself. Question document examination, also known as forensic document examination, is a forensic science discipline that involves the examination of documents that have issues of authenticity. The primary purpose of question document examination is to provide evidence about a suspicious or questionable document using scientific processes and methods. So we use scientific processes and methods while examining question documents. So evidence might include alterations. Are you with me?
Yes, I'm listening.
Evidence might include alterations, the chain of possession, also known as a chain of custody, damage to the document, forgery, origin, authenticity, or other questions that may come up when a document is challenged in the court. In court. This profession is quite different from graphology. Graphology is another field entirely, which determines a person's character by analyzing their handwriting. So it's totally different. Graphology is different from question document. Question document is about the origin of document, authenticity of document, whether the document is involving forgery or not. But graphology is about using handwriting to determine personality of a person, which is totally different. So, in question document examination, question documents or components of the document are compared to a set of known sample called standard or samplers. The most common type of examination involves handwriting, wherein the examiner tries to address concerns about potential authorship. Are you with me, sir?
Yes, I'm listening.
Okay. A handwriting may be found at the crime scene of a suspected suicide case, or even a pen used to write a ransom note. A handwritten examination, which is a subset of question document examination, is used in the examination of suicide notes found at the crime scene or a suspected suicide case, which may later turn out to be a murder case. So, handwriting is based on a set of principles, some of which we are going to discuss now. Question document, handwritten examination is a subset of question document examination. So because of time, we are going to concentrate on handwritten examination today. So let's move forward. There are principles that handwritten examination is based on, and some of them we'll mention some of them, then we'll move further.
So your line is breaking.
Okay, sir. I said there are principles that handwritten examination is based upon. Can you hear me?
Hello, sir.
Can you hear me, sir?
I can hear you now.
Okay. Handwritten examination is based on a set of principles, some of which I'm going to list now. If you look at your screen, look at your screen. So this set of principles are: number one, no two people write exactly alike.
Okay.
No two people write exactly alike. You may, orderly speaking, you may look at handwriting of two people that even the writers may be confirming it, that their handwritings are similar. But as a question document examiner, by the time you look at it very well, you discover that there are a lot of differences in the two that ordinary person will not be able to pinpoint. So, no two people write exactly alike. Number two, written habits. Written habits, like habit of speech, become so automatic and unconscious that even by the most strenuous effort, it is almost impossible to change them. Let me repeat it. Written habits, like habit of speech, become so automatic and unconscious that even by the most strenuous effort, it is almost impossible to change them. The way we write, each one of us writes, are not the same. Even though when we are in the primary school or nursery school, we were taught to write the same way. We were taught to write A, B, C, all those alphabets in the same way. We are taught to give the same gap, the same space between lines, between words. But as time goes on, we begin to deviate from those standards that was laid for us. The standard, each one of us will deviate from that standard. So the level of your deviation from the standard will determine how you write. Are you with me, sir?
Yes, sir. Even though the line is breaking, but I know you send the lecture note later. But the line is really breaking. I think network is causing problem.
Okay,
but it's
sir.
okay. I'm all here.
Okay, sir. So, written habits, like habit of speech, become so automatic in every writer and unconscious that even by the most strenuous effort, it is almost impossible to change them. That's the second principle. And the third principle says, individual characteristics that are unique to a particular writer exist in every person's handwriting, distinguishing it from every other handwriting. Let me repeat it. I said, individual characteristics that are unique to a particular writer exist in every person's handwriting, distinguishing it from every other handwriting. Which means By the time you examine the characteristics in the handwriting of every individual, you are going to see some things, some characteristics that cannot be duplicated in another person's handwriting, in another writer's handwriting. So there is always a character in a person's handwriting that will distinguish it from every other handwriting. Then number 4, many written habits are unconscious and therefore cannot be changed by the writer. Let's move forward because of our time. The note will be sent to you.
Okay, sir.
We use this handwritten or question document examination in many cases, like a kidnapping case. In a kidnapping case where the kidnapper writes a ransom note, it is possible after examining the handwritten on the ransom note to identify the writer and therefore resolve the case of that kidnapping. So in a kidnapping where you have ransom note, it is possible to use handwritten analysis or handwritten examination to unravel that case, to identify
Sir, okay, can I ask a question?
Yes, sir.
Now, in this, change is constant.
Yes, sir.
And in the 21st century, we don't do note again. Kidnapping is a new crime into all these things. If you watch between 1970, there was nothing like kidnapping until recently. When we started with the Niger Delta and the rest, it came up to point.
Yes,
but
sir.
now they don't even read notes again, demand note. They do what? The phone. How do we detect it when the phone is not around with us?
Okay, that is another different investigation entirely. That falls under cybercrime.
Okay.
Yes, that's another one. So this one is different from that one. So there, in fact, in every crime, most of the crime, generally speaking, crime can be divided into two, can be categorized into two, either cybercrime or terrestrial crime. And in most crimes, we use more than one field of criminal investigation to solve it. Do you understand me, sir?
Yes, but I get you clearly, sir. What I'm trying to say is that we should be able to come out with a solution. What I'm trying to say is that as a forensic investigator, assuming that there was no note in that process because of what we are facing now with phones.
Yes. Okay.
With phones, issue of phones. Issue of phones.
Yes. In that issue of phones.
How do we get to do when there's no note to it? There's no note but the phone.
Okay.
But you have been able to explain that that's what we call cybercrime. So do we still go back to the old notes when they are not professional? Because it's rare for you to see any young person now, any kidnapper giving you notes again. They'll just call you, go to this place, go to this place.
Yes, in that case where there's no note, where what they use is phone. They will use their phone to connect with somebody's phone with a contact. So that phone, in every phone in every device that you use, there are set of, let me call them characteristics. We are on that call log. You have some things like the date, the time, the IP address, and some other.
No, what I'm seeing here is just kidnapping or using kidnapping, forgeries, counterfeit.
Yes.
I'm not seeing any other thing again.
Okay, you have kidnapping, you have forgeries, you have counterfeit, you have suicide.
Yes.
Then you have homicide.
Yes.
Then
I have contested will. That is known.
Yes, contested wills. Yes. Those are the cases that we use this question document examination. But your question,
sorry to cut you. You know, when you're lining up those things, it's common because it's handwritten and it's on a paper.
okay.
Why you've been able to explain? Yes, forgery is on a paper, counterfeit is on a paper,
Yes.
suicide is on a paper, homicide is on a paper, contested will is on a paper.
Yes.
So, but like I always tell people, in every general rule, there's an exception.
Yes.
There's exception with the kidnapping.
Yes. No,
because
you can't
kidnapping,
remove,
like I said,
you can't remove kidnapping because no, it's not every kidnapping that deals with phony. There are still cases of kidnapping whereby the person who kidnapped is a member of a family. And we just write a note because write a note or in a company, write note, drop it where people can see it. That is not yet is not a sophisticated. Not every criminal is sophisticated now.
Okay, sir.
But just as you said, every investigator, every crime scene investigator must know more than using ransom note.
Okay.
That's it. But we must talk about this one also.
Okay, sir.
So, in the case of ransom notes, it can be used. Then forgery also, it can be used in forgeries. It can be used in counterfeiting, in counterfeit products, or then suicide. There are cases where somebody, where you are investigating a suicide case, but at the end of everything, the suicide note, after examination of suicide note, then you discover that the suicide note is not suicide note, but somebody, the man was murdered or the deceased was murdered, and a note was written by the murderer, and pretend as if it is the deceased that commit suicide. Are you with me?
Okay, sir.
Yes, sir. So in a suicide case, it can be used. Also in a homicide case, it can be used where you have seen cases of a husband that killed his wife and write some notes and appear as if somebody from outside was behind the murder. So then lastly, on contested wills, but all these things, they are things we discuss one by one if there is time. But let's move further. Those are the cases.
Okay.
We have more than this, but these are some of the cases. Then we talk about method of comparison. Just as you know that in every forensic field, what we do is that we compare the known to unknown. We compare the known to unknown. Are you with me, sir?
Yes, I'm listening, sir.
Okay. So we compare the known to unknown. Now, there are some things that we compare. The first thing that we study is whether is that of class characteristics or individual characteristics. In handwritten or question document generally, there are two types of characteristics. You have class characteristics, then you have individual characteristics. We study the characteristics inside the handwritten or question document. The first one, for example, in the class characteristics, if you look at the handwritten of doctors, I'm talking about medical doctors. If they write notes, and if an accountant writes notes, you can see similarity between that profession. I mean, the medical doctors, how they write their notes, especially when they are addressing, maybe a doctor want to give instruction to a nurse. The way they write is totally different from the way an accountant will write when he's given instruction to another accountant or his subordinate. The same way you can read a note written by a lawyer You can read a note written by a lawyer and say this person is a legal person. That's a class characteristics. The same way, if an Indian writes a note and a man from Nigeria writes a note, write the same content, by the time you read those content from an Indian man or a Nigerian man, you see the difference between the way they compose their things. So you can say that 2 notes belong to Nigerians and 2 notes belong to Indians because of similarities of class characteristics. So if a man that lives in Saudi Arabia, for example, and is able to read and write English, if he is to compose a letter, and somebody that lived all his life in a town in western Nigeria, the way they will compose the same letter will not be the same. So that the class characteristics is one of those things that you use to distinguish a question document. Then if you have individual characteristics. Individual characteristics is the major thing that you use to identify that this letter belongs to so person. But class characteristics can be used to exclude. For exclusion, can say this handwriting can never be from this man. Then when we want to do this comparison, there are some things we consider. We have what we call master plan. Then we have what we call master plan or range of written. This range of written or master plan include all the characteristics. That is the way you write, those things that you introduce unconsciously to your writing. Those are the things we call characteristics. Then the patterns. Patterns are the way you form your letter. The way, if 4 people write A, the way they write their A will not be the same. So the method of construction is part of what we call patterns. Then you have what we call idiosyncrasies. Idiosyncrasies are those things that appears in your composition that may not be present in other ones. For example, some may be using some things like hola when you are greeting, or hey friend, or hey or party, or those things. They are idiosyncrasies that you may not see in the composition of another person. Let's move forward. In this range of written, or that we call master plan, they can be divided into 3 or categorized into 3. The first one is form. That is how you form a letter. How you form your letter. How each writer forms his letter is different from others. If you look at the screen, you see different alphabets. Some people write their T in this format. Write their T here. I mean, like this. Look at it. Look at this T. You see,
I've seen it.
Some will write their T like this with this cross bar will be on top of the high, and some will write their own. Will make the this crossbar. Majority of the crossbar will be in front. So that is formation of that the form of that letter. Look at this O here. Some will write their O and still have something like this line. So these are some of the way that some people write their own. In fact, it has become subconscious that even when you are talking and you are reading, it will still appear. Then, apart from that one, look at this one. Look at my hem here. Look at this M. Some will write their M, they have initial stroke. The initial stroke may be long. Some will have short initial stroke. Then look at this one. All these things are done unconsciously. They are done unconsciously. Then another category is movement. I said the range of writing can be categorized into three. The first one is form. The second one is movement. Movement is how you, when you place the first time you place your pen on the paper, how you move your hand to write whatever you want to write. Look at what you have under movement here. Can you see my screen?
Yes, I can see.
Okay, look at it. Look, some people, somebody may write his own like this. I want smoke. Look at it. Look at the slant. How this thing is slant. But unless they tell the writer, he may not even know that that is how his writings always slant forward. Another one may write I want smoke to it may slant backward, and some will be straight like when the military are marching. So these are some of the things that you have in some people's handwriting. Then there's something we call rhythm. Rhythm is how when you start writing from a line or an imaginary line, how you move away from the line and you are coming back to the line. Look at this place where I write I love inyo and okra. Look at it. Look at it. Some will write like this. Start from high, we move forward, move upward, and later go back on the imaginary line and go the same way. And some will almost straight. So, but most writers don't think that those things are there. They don't even know that those things are there until when you point it to them. Then there's something you call spatial relationship. That is the form. The third one, the third group. Spatial relationship. Spatial relationship is the distance between each letter. The distance between each letter in every writer are not always the same. Then there's also a distance between a word and another word and the following word. Then apart from that one, the distance between each line, those are the things that you measure when we are comparing two notes. Maybe written with hands, especially written with hand, we compare them. But there's another form of this work that deal with question documents from printers, from photocopier. Then this handwritten, we have to talk about it very well before we go to signature, because signature is still one of those things that people use for forgery these days. Are you with me, sir?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Forgery is enabled in most cases by using signatures, forging signatures of people. And at times when signatures are forged, even the owner of the signature that is being forged may say that, this is my signature. May confirm me that this is my signature, but I don't know when I sign it. There's a place called Uwole in Lagos there.
Lagos, Computer Village.
Yes, sir. There is no...
I practice in Lagos. I told you I practice in Lagos. I practice in Ibadan and Osun State.
Yes, but that of Oluwole is the headquarters of forgery document in Nigeria.
Forgery.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
So
yes, sir.
They can forge any signature that anybody will look at it and say they are the same. But let me tell you, sir, by the time you subject them to examination, you see the difference clearly. Because ordinary eyes will see those things. Those two pictures as being correct. But when you put them under magnifying lens, you as a trained examiner will be able to see the difference between the two. Any handwriting that is written naturally will have its own characteristics. The one that is being copied will have its own characteristics that will not appear under with ordinary eyes or unaided eyes. But when you examine it under either microscope or ordinary magnifying lens, you can see the two. Or maybe you scan it to a system and you zoom it, you see the difference. Let's move further. Now, when a forger is forging either handwritten or a signature, what they are doing is that they are copying, they are drawing. They are not written, they are copying. What they are doing that time is that they are drawing. And there are always characteristics of slow written, because slow written, drawing involves slow written. Drawing involves slow written, or copy involves slow written. So, and there are some things you can see in a letter, either letter of a signature or letter of handwritten, that will make you to know that this is a slow written. I'll just mention some of them. One of them is careful execution of details of letters. Careful execution of details of letters. When a natural letter is being written by the natural writer, there are some things you write, because that is how you write for years. You not be too careful on placing your pen on the paper before you start writing. So, because of careful execution of details of letter, if a forger want to copy a word like copy and want to copy, and maybe and is something that you want to copy. Now, the first thing that a forger will do, in order to have a picture, a picture of the original letter, to have correct picture of it, what he's going to do is that the first thing he places his pen on the paper first, look at it, then begin to write. If you write it correctly, if it's a careful forger, professional forger, by the time you look at it, they be the same. But under magnifying lens, you will see something we call blob. Blob is a drop of ink that is not actually visible to eyes, to unaided eyes, unless under magnifying lens, where that person places his pen. So you see it there because he's being careful. So he wants it to be like the original one. Another one that you can see is wavering forms and broken strokes. Wavy forms. Normally, after a period of time, after getting out of maybe primary school, you have mastered how to write. So when you are writing, whatever you are writing, maybe your signature or you are just writing a note, your hand will not be wavering when you want to make a stroke. The stroke will be flowing. Whether you are making circle, a straight line, or curved line, the line will be flowing, to be like a flowing water. It won't be wavering. But in a forged letter, by the time you look at it under magnifying lens, you see that it's wavering, that it has a wavering form. But ordinary eyes, you see that it has such a thing. And broken strokes also is another characteristic of a forged written. You have many broken strokes where you're supposed not to have it. Then another thing is sinking lines. Sinking lines is a normal written that is written by a natural writer. Will always, it's either it will be rising or it will be on a straight line. But when you have sinking lines, that is an indication. But that is not ultimate, because there are still some other things we will talk about. So that's an indication. Another thing is ornament or flourishing connections. The forger will look at where you have your connection. We try to mimic it. We'll be careful in mimicking it. And where it's trying to do that one, it will be having what we call ornament connections. Where the connections, it will be, at times, it will be too slow. So you have drops of ink, or it may do it twice or thrice, which will make the connection to be thicker than normal. Then another thing is frequent pauses. Frequent pauses where it's not supposed to pause. You see that there is pause. Where now, if you are making circle, the circle flows normally, but a forger will be careful because circles are not always the same in every writers. So you want to make it the same like the original one. So as it's drawing a circle, it will be pausing. As it's pausing, his hand is stopping. The pen will be stopped, and when you want to continue, the pen is not likely to continue where it stopped. So there's going to be a space. So there will be space around meaningless spaces, and also blobs. Blobs are drops of ink. You have that blob of ink, that drop of ink that you call blob, and also spaces where they are not supposed to be. And where they are not supposed to be angles, you have angles. Where the original writer just make a curve, just a curve. His own will be sharp, like a sharp corner, and divided letters. Then you have there's always, you can predict where the T or J of a forger will be. But in a normal writer, where you have your T in the following the previous line may not be the same place where you have your the crossbar of your T. So and the last one, because of our time, there is not going to be differences between upstroke and downstroke. Now let's see an example of what I'm trying to explain. Let me try to use this one to explain that one. Can you see my screen, sir?
Yes, sir.
Look at these two signatures. The one at the right hand. This one, can you see my screen? This one that I'm indicating is the original signature. Whereas this is copied one. This is copied one. Now, if you just look at it ordinarily, pictorially, they look alike, but there are a lot of differences there. By the time you put them under magnifying lens, if I reduce it now, they become more and more similar. But because they are enlarged, that is why you can see some things there like this. Now, I want you to take note of something. I made the last thing I made mention there is the difference between upstroke and downstroke. No difference between downstroke and upstroke. A forged handwritten, that is a slow written. This one by my right, that is forged. You can see, if you look at the line, the stroke, it's like all the strokes are thick the same way. The thickness are almost the same all through. The thickness of the lines. But come and look at this one. Look at this, all this one. They are the upstroke. The downstroke. Can you see these lines? Yes, these lines, they are thin. They are thinner than this one. They are thinner than the other one. So there's no way you can be writing a signature unless if you are forging or you are copying, that all the stroke will have the same pressure. The pressure will always fluctuate on your pen. The pressure you start on your pen will always fluctuate. So now that because of the fact that the pressure is fluctuate, it will make the thickness of the lines not to be uniform. Whereas somebody that is copying, because it's very slow. It's slow in copying that thing because it's copying it and it be slowing. That will slow him down. That one will make the line to appear thicker and almost the same. Almost the same in thickness. Then apart from that one, you have wavering lines. Look at this one. Look at the lines here. We have what you have here. They are smooth. They are flowing lines. But if you look at this one, they are wavering. It's like the hand of the person is shaking. But if you reduce it now perfectly, you may not see all those things. You will not see that you have anything wavering. So other eyes will see it as the same. That because in every signature, you see if you sign 100 times, there still be little differences. But those little differences is not the same thing as difference of a forger. It's not the same thing as different that you see in the handwriting of a forger or signature of a forger. So by the time you put them under magnifying lens, you can see. Then I made mention of blob. Blob are drop of lines where they are not supposed to be. Now, when you are writing like this, this writer, the upstroke was thick like this, and when it's coming down, the thing was, yes, no more thick. And now look at this, he's copying it. He copied it like this without thinking, because it has been part and parcel of him. Without thinking, he just made the curve. Whereas in the forged one, the forger, on getting to this place, you will have to look at how that thing bends. So it will slow down. That is why you see it thick here. The stroke is thick here. And on getting to this place, you will have to look at it again. Look at the original signature. That is why you have this blob here. Whereas in the original, you can't see the blob in that place. So where you're supposed not to have blob, you have blob there. And the wavering. The only time you can have a wavering form or wavering line or stroke in an original signature is when the writer is sick or an aged person. Do you understand me, sir?
Yes, sir.
It's only when the writer is sick. Maybe perhaps the writer is seriously sick and has to write to append the signature, or is under duress. At gunpoint, anybody that signs up that gunpoint, the signature will show it that this person is written when the body is not, when the nervous system is not being coordinated properly. So a man that is not sick but is under gunpoint, that is they put gun at his head and say, sign this thing. The signature will have wavering form. Though to ordinary eyes it may not show, but when you place it under magnifying lens, you see it there. And by the time you want to use such a thing in the court, what you do is that you enlarge it and print it out.
Okay.
But then at the same time, if the court wants you to appear to give oral testimony, all you do is that you go to that place with your laptop or your system or your device and a projector, so that you can demonstrate it to the court, so they'll be able to see very clearly. So let's move forward because of our time. Question document examination is a field on its own, just like a fingerprint. The fingerprint was dealt with separately, but you have to mention this one inside crime scene. Inside the crime scene investigation, because it's part of those things that we use. Even though a crime scene investigator cannot know everything or the field, but at least you must know these things. Then I am laying emphasis on this thing because of the fact that you yourself, you are a lawyer, so you deal with documents every time. So all these things will help you. So now let's Look at our screen now. Look at the screen. This K this K has a good quality of line. It shows that this is written by a natural writer, that is the original writer. But this K was copied. We had somebody to copy this K, this other K here. So that is why you have poor quality of line. And look at it. Look at dots here. This dot, this blob. The blob is not here because the person who wrote this one did not need to put his pen on the paper before writing. When a natural writer is writing, what happens is that your pen, the pen of that writer, begin to fly before touching the paper. The thing is already flying. It's already moving. But a forger will place his pen on the paper first before starts writing. That is why you see you have a blob here. That's why you have a blob here. So,
hello?
Yes, sir.
Network was blocking. I was shouting hello. I didn't hear all that. But it's okay. Go on, sir.
Okay, let me repeat myself. I said if you can see my screen.
Yes, the K.
Yes, the K from the left hand K. You can see that the line is flowing. It has a flowing line.
Yes.
Yeah, it has a flowing line because it is written by a natural writer, by the original writer. So it has a good quality line. But this one has a poor quality line. That is characteristics of a copied letter. Characteristics of a slow written. Then if you look at the starting point of this first K, you see that
there's no blob.
There's no blob there. Yes, but here there's blob. But this blob is appearing because it has already been zoomed. You are using computer to aid your eyes. But if it is just on ordinary paper, you will not see the blob there. So to you, it may appear that those two K are the same if they are just on ordinary paper. So the blob is one of the indicator of a copied written. The only time you can have blob in an original written is when the writer is already drugged. Do you understand that? Do you understand me, sir?
Yes, sir.
If, for example, now, in a case where maybe they brought a case to you, and your client is telling you that he signed there's a document that he signed under influence of alcohol, that somebody put other drug, or they allow you to become drunk before they brought that into him, that he didn't consent to it, that he didn't do it under normal, that he was under influence of alcohol. Now, for you to prove it, you can use this one to prove it. Then in a signature where you have so many blobs, in a signature is an indication that that person was already drunk, that he cannot coordinate his hand again, that his nervous system has been tampered with. And what you use to convince any, maybe the judge or whoever that want to decide the case, is you ask the client to bring some of his past signatures. So all his past signatures, maybe like 7 of them, is enough. By the time you analyze those things and you point to the fact that the one that is being contested has blocks, and his own doesn't have blocks like that one, that one is enough for someone to understand that the one that has blobs is not written under normal condition like other ones. So blob at times may be an indicator that even though the person that wrote it is the original writer, but he is under the influence of maybe alcohol or drug, especially when the blobs are too many. So, any written that has this kind of a poor quality is an indicator of a forged written. Except where you have a too simple signature, like some people will use something like X as their signature. That one may be memorized several times by a forger and sign it, and it won't have indicators of forgery. Now, in a signature, just as been explaining, in a signature, those things that you look for as indicators of forgery in any signature, they are more than this, but there are three primary things. The first one is tremor. Tremor is wavering strokes. Like we have it here. Wavering strokes. Like you have it here. This is wavering strokes. You look at this line, this stroke. It's not flowing, it's wavering. So wavering stroke is one of those things that you look for in a forged signature or forged handwritten. Tremor. We call it tremor. Tremor means wavering strokes. Then you have blunt starts and blunt stops. Wherever you see blunt starts and blunt stops, is an indication of forgery. Blunt starts and blunt stops. Let me show this one.
So now, what's the blunt start and blunt stop?
Okay, thank you, sir. Now, anytime you want to start writing any signature, let me look at this one. When you are writing a signature, because of the fact that the natural writer, that is the original writer, when it's written, the pen is already flying before touching the paper. The first stroke, the initial stroke will always be thinner, will be thin. So it won't be thick, but somebody that is copying, it will first of all place his pen on the paper. So the initial stroke will be, the starting point will be blunt. Then when it's about to finish also, he will look at the signature, original signature, to know whether he has done the right thing before now releasing his pen. So the start and the end will be blunt. Will not have a sharp. Let me expand this thing so that you can see. Look for where we start. Look at this signature. Look at this one. This one starts here. This one is not really showing where we start because of the nature of this one. But if you look at it, let me bring another one that the signature where we start is very clear. Let me expand this one. Look at this. Look at this place compared to this one. This one is really thick. This place is really thick, so it's blunt. Look at this end of this stroke also. It's blunt. But if you look at this one and this one, they are not as thick as this one. Now, this same stroke, the same stroke here, is what this one still used to form this one. This stroke is still what he didn't stop. He cuff it like this and bring it up to this place and release it. So he releases it here. Look at this one. This is a tapered hand.
Which is the stop?
Yes, where it stop. This is where it stop.
Yes.
So it's tapered, whereas this one is blunt.
Okay.
So we look at those things. So by the time you have like 4, 5 indicators, you can say this one is forged, because one is not enough. The reason why one is not enough is this: there may be some other conditions that may make that person, that may make some the indicators of forgery to appear, but it won't be as many as the one that is really forged. Just as I said, somebody that is under duress or somebody that is under influence of alcohol.
Under the influence of alcohol.
Yes, it may, some things may appear in the signature that will appear as if it is not a genuine signature. So, and then if you look at this one very well, you can see that the lines are wavering. Look at this line. Look at the line. Look at this line, that they are not flowing.
Mm-hmm.
The line didn't flow like that one. It's wavering. We call it a tremor line.
Yes. Because they are wavering.
Yes, they are wavering. So let me go back to the yeah. This is 5 already.
After 5.
We supposed to have stopped now.
Okay.
But what I will do?
So when
I will send material to you.